Hey y'all, good morning. It is Roy here, and I wanted to come on here and share something with you that has been on my mind. Once again, listening to music, and just it's amazing how God can speak through inspired music. How God can use His Word in song to just really get your motor going. But I was listening to a song this morning called "Hills and Valleys." It's by Tauren Wells. It's a beautiful song. It's been a favorite for a long time. I really enjoy it. But as I was listening to it, it's talking about, who God is, what He is. And a lot of times I think people hear those words and they think about, oh, hills and valleys. He's God, the good times and the bads. And you can certainly make that, fit that. But it kind of got my mind to wondering. I was like, I know I've heard it. I know it's in the scripture. And I was like, I couldn't think of it off the top of my head where it came from. So I'm going to do some research. So I got online, started looking, started reading, opened up my Bible, trying to see what I could find. And I come across in Deuteronomy chapter 11. And God and the Israelites are being told this land that you're going to take, this land that you're going into, this is what it is. He tells them, it's a land that, God, essentially God is taking care of Himself. This land has hills, it has valleys. And I thought about that, and I thought, man, think about the fact that we want to always equate hills and valleys to good and bad. But you realize that in the valleys, that's where the ground is most fertile. Not much grows on top of a mountaintop, but a whole lot grows in the valleys where the water soaks into the ground, where the greenery can grow up. Tops of mountains are covered in snow, or they're closer to the sun. If it does get hot, they're getting scorched. Like, mountaintops aren't necessarily the most fertile ground. You may feel the best when you're up there, hey, I accomplished something, I made it to the top. But what's on the other side of that mountain? When you're on that peak and you're feeling great and things are going great and you're like, hey, man, look at this, I'm on top of the mountain. Guess what comes next? You have to come down from that eventually. To carry on, to continue forward, you have to come off of that mountaintop, come back into another valley. And if we always look at those valleys as a negative, as a bad thing, as a down place, what does that do to us? Why can't we celebrate that God is the same God in the mountain and the valley? And it's land that God tends to. Our life is land that God tends to. We are going to have hills and valleys, mountains and valleys. We're going to have it. It's part of life. But that's God's land. That is a place that He personally tends to. He tends to each and every one of our lives personally. We should be land that soaks up water from the heavens, as it says there in Deuteronomy 11. We should be that land. We should be that land that God is just soaking with rain, filling us with His grace and His mercy and His love. We should be that land, the hills and the valleys. That's what He was telling the Israelites. Hey, it's got both. It's got hills and it's got valleys. But this is land that I tend to. This is land that soaks up the rain that I give it. Go and take it. It's yours. He's telling us today that our life, it's His. And He's going to tend to us no matter where we're at. Whether we're on a hilltop, we're on a mountaintop, or we're in a valley, He's going to tend to us. So when you're down in the valley, again, don't feel down. Realize that the valley is most times the most fertile piece of land there is. And when you're on the mountaintop, look forward to that next valley. Celebrate where you're at. Enjoy the fact that God has you on that mountaintop. He puts you on that mountaintop. But just know when He puts you and He guides you into another valley, don't look at the negative. If there's shade around from the mountains overcasting you, realize that many times in the scripture, God is shadowing us under the cover of His wing, under His feathers. He is protecting us. In those shadows, don't look at them as a negative. Realize that could be a positive. That could be God protecting you. God could be just multiplying the fruit in you while you're going through that valley. Realize that land, our lives, that's God's, the hills and the valleys. He loves you and he's there for you. Thank you for listening. I hope you get something out of it. I had to share it. I love you all. Be blessed. Have a great day.